And thank you, Coach. We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants. The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports.
Okay, baby, let's go. Let's go. Ready, set. 55. Bend it. Ready, go. Ready, go.
On 1st and 10, Forbes. And nearly picked off there, almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. The former 2nd-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
Now after the holding call, here's 2nd and 20.
3 down. Hey, check. 3 down. Check, boy, 3.
From the gun, Forbes. He finds his running back, Mixon. Takes this one up past the 20 after he's able to make a man miss.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver or tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
So certainly not the start they were looking for here as they come up on a 3rd and 14.
We got 3, fellas. We got 3.
Operating from the gun, Forbes. Going deep here for Taylor. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long.
Everyone got 4 down.
From the gun, Forbes. Man open, that's complete to Dalton Schultz. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Alert. 53's the mark. 53. Check 53.
From the gun, it's Allen. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Touchdown, Giants. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Tucker with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
9 yards the pickup there, and it's a first down. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Taywan Taylor, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Forbes. And he finds his target. It's Schultz.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
This defense tightening up a bit. That last catch just 1 yard, making it 3rd and 9. Looking to throw. Forbes. Looking for Campbell downfield. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Now, they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
And he takes this across the 15 to the 17. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
At the 17-yard line.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
You must be dreaming. 5 wide, 5 wide, 5 wide. Alert 3. Regular.
Allen gonna throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
First down at the 22-yard line.
Hey, tight. Single, slot. Hey, you're on an island over there. You're on an island. Hey, Alpha.
Here's Allen on 1st and 10. And caught by Henry. And he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Allen now already at 100 yards passing in this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. From midfield, here's Allen. He completes it to Henry. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
It appears they found something that's working, and they keep going back to it. I guess you can actually say he has the hot hands now, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, it's one thing to hit your guy out of the backfield once, hit him a couple times. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they're onto something.
And I think a lot of that is simply if you get it to him in space, more times than not, he's going to get more yardage than you expect out of each play.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now Allen again. And he fires one that's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
A good start to the drive. That's caught out on the left side. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. 25 yards that time.
Ready to break. 50. Hey, let's get in that hole. Check. Let's go.
Now Joe Mixon. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. Touchdown, Cowboys. Joe Mixon, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. As his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. A tale of 2 extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive, followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Allen going to throw again. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Well, you've got a receiver here who's got 1 touchdown already in this first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there, wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage to make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
Hey, wahoo! Let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Don't get nervous. Hey, hold. 53.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. Looking left side, and it's complete. He's already topped his receiving output from a week ago, and we're just in the first quarter, as that's a first down.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
At the 50-yard line.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
You ain't got nothing.
Henry running right. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On 3rd and short, going with their tight end. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Middle. Mike, 53. Hey, Mike, 7. I got it. Let's go. Hey, I got it.
First down, and they're going to throw without it. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 13 yards, good for a giant first down.
First and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. A first down carry for Henry. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. Ready to roll for the second quarter from MetLife Stadium. The Giants with the football as they go to work on a 1st and goal.
Down 80. 56. Check 56. Hey, I'm coming after you.
Trying to punch it in with Henry. Trying to ram his way in, but they're going to hold him back at the goal line. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal.
Hey, watch his slant. He's coming. We got double up.
Allen now on the sneak, and he is in. Touchdown, New York. Josh Allen with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Giants have taken the lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And a short kick, taking it about the 16. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
At their own 32-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. And he will finally be taken down at the Giants' 25-yard line.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
Back. 61, matchbox, flight. 2.
On first down, Forbes. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
On the ready. Too little,
First down, and they'll try to run the option left. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down. He was able to escape the pocket and get out of bounds. You like the decision-making?
I love the decision-making, and I love the execution because you just know that his eyes were darting all over the place. You know, they talk about keeping your head on a swivel, looking for the danger spots where the hits are going to come from. How about him getting all he could out of that run and then getting out of bounds?
And he told us, look, I'm a rookie. I'm waiting for the game to slow down, but it seems like he's processing things pretty well.
He certainly is. He's slowing the game down himself with his actions. Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing, and I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
On the set. General West. Shoot. Undercut.
On the run, it's Mixon. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. It's a gain of 5, and now the question, will the offense stay out there on 4th and 1? So on 4th down, on comes the Dallas kicker, Brett Maher. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. So it's an old-school extra point that counts 3 times. So it's certainly a disappointment they weren't able to get it in the end zone.
Yeah, I can just imagine post-game, head coach looking at the box score, 19-yard field goal, grimacing a little bit, but having to realize that at that moment, getting 3 points was vital. Go ahead and get the points, put them on the board.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a bead on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action, and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Now Allen. This is the tight end Fant. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. The excellent play last time is followed by a much more routine gain of 3.
At the 18-yard line.
4 receivers now in the formation. 3 to the left, 1 to the right on 2nd and 7. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Second and 2 now. The penalty leaves them in pretty good shape. So the shotgun snap to Allen. He's got his big tight end, Fant. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
So 3 plays, already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. They'll try and run for it with Henry. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
Hey, orbit.
Second down and goal. Allen. And this is going to be intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Throwing on first down. Forbes. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. Second down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series before you get out there. Hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Operating from the gun. Forbes. And that will be incomplete. They had points on their first 2 possessions, a touchdown and a field goal, but this time, defense stands strong.
Would you say that things maybe are trending now in the right direction for them?
Better than drives 1 and 2.
There's no doubt about it. Now maybe they can exhale a little bit, gather themselves, and really get back into this game.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
No, not quite at that level and not at that age. But I remember
I was going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. A little bit of daylight on that first down run sets him up nicely. 8 yards on the carry. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Brings up 2nd and 2. At the Cowboys 40.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. 10th carry now for Derrick Henry. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Mike. 53, Mike. I'm here all day.
On first down, it's Henry. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
Yeah, baby. Boom.
Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. They'll toss it to Henry. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Back at the 43-yard line.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. That is caught. It's Perriman. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Hey, exit. Number 53, Mike, go.
Throwing now is Allen, letting one go deep for the end. And it'll be intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. From the gun, Forbes. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Cowboy first down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
He's not going to get me.
To throw again. Forbes. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. Here now, Brett Maher. He hit from 62 in his rookie season of 2018. This to equal Matt Prater's record. It's a 64-yard attempt. And off the crossbar, no good. A sensational effort from that distance, but rejected by the bar. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Second half ready to get rolling. The Giants with a lead, and they are set to receive this kick. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Now Allen to throw. Throwing again. And he will go down. A Cowboy sack. Samson Abukum in there to bury him for a loss of 11. Well, it was 2nd long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
And it's complete. Henry. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. that's going to count as that, because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
The Cowboys take over first down 10 at their own 37-yard line.
Let's go.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
On second down, here's Mixon. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up fourth down. Here's Matt Weil now. He's been terrific so far. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line. Excellent placement. And off that bounce, Charles, I didn't know where it was going to go. It can be an inexact science as to where they place it, but they say the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how they really determined that. And let's face it, at the end of that play, one side's going to be happy, the other team's going to be unhappy. It's like, what do they do, shorten the hypotenuse? I mean, how do they figure that out? You know that stuff. You're the smart guy.
Oh, that's you, partner. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. In his own end zone, it's Allen. This is Fant on the short completion. And he gets this up just shy of the 15. 12 yards there and a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
They'll run on first down. Henry brought down around the 16 or 17, showing some tough running there. Tackle there by Leighton Vander Esch.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
He's got a first down past the 30. He's at the 50. Flexing his muscle at the 30. It's a big run that time by Henry. 68 yards.
I remember watching Derrick Henry come out of Alabama and sitting with some scouts, and one of the debate points with him was, while at Bama, how often did he have to deal with contact near the line of scrimmage? They were so good up front that he often got to the second level pretty easily. I think he's starting to answer those questions with runs like that. He's a physical guy.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone.
Check. Fresno. Under 10.
They'll run it now out of the gun. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14. They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickups, 1 yard.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 14-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Pick it up, guys. Pick it up.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
So many play callers in the red zone worry about the negative effects of a play that they're about to call. But this guy, all he's worried about is gaining yardage and putting the ball in the hands of his playmakers.
And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Well, the drive started the shadow of their own goalpost all the way back at the 2. Pretty nice job of getting downfield and at least getting 3.
Agreed on that one. A real nice job because really their goal was to get out of the shadows of those goalposts and give themselves a little bit of room to help out their defense. Instead, they got 3 points out of it.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Once again, they run with Mixon. It's a 6-yard run, leaves them with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with 3rd down coming up. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Forbes. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The intended receiver, Taywan Taylor, but it'll be 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Josh Allen gets him for a loss of 10 yards from his linebacker spot. Chalk that up as their 1st sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Forbes. He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the 1st. Here's Matt Wild now as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. Out of bounds as he appeared to be looking for the corner. He got it. They're going to mark this at the 4-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Boy, nowhere to go at all on that 1st down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. Well, from my vantage point, that's just one bad play by the offensive line and a running back who's had a lot of good ones tonight.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he's not going to be ticked off, nor is the offensive line, because to me it's a lot like a no-hitter, right? Pitcher's throwing a no-hitter, gives up a hit late. You're so close to accomplishing everything you want and don't quite get it done. They'll come back with a vengeance on the next play.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Complete. It's Henry. They find some open field here. A big play there on the catch and run. 44 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Here's Allen. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Check 19. Check 53, Mike. I got you, boy. I got you, boy. Check 4. Check 4. Motion, motion. Pop, 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 pop. Pop, pop, pop.
And the busy night for Henry continues. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
Hey, switch gears.
On second down, Eason. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. They give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football.
Let's get it. 56. Mike, 56. Right there, 56. Watch the back,
A carry here for the big tight end. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2.
Check me out. 56 is the Mike. Good track. Mike, 6. Mike's 56. Hey, defense. We go. Mike 56. Mike 56. Watch the return. Go.
And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. So that'll back them up 5. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10. So his second field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
Let's go.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Buying time to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, get some 9 yards and a first. Penny, a first down carry. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Hey, you got 3 down.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Now Allen off the bootleg. He'll buy some time right. Going to throw right side here, complete. A good pickup there, 18 yards as they get closer for third down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Now Allen, he's got his tight end fan. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Well, forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play. Allen now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. They'll try the right side with Henry. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the Cowboys' 20-yard line.
Mike's 50. Mike's 56. I got it.
They'll run it again with Henry. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The Giants on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Allen. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Tucker's kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive or no? And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off near the 34, and he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Giants touchdown. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a 4th quarter comeback.
With emphasis. Interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is summoned onto the field as they'll go for 2.
Alert! Check. All 52. Hey, Sue.
So after the INT, it's Allen. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I know they didn't tack on the 2 points, but I liked their attempt. After the interception return for a touchdown, I was thinking to myself, forget kicking it, go for 2, and they did.
Well, yeah, and everybody's scrambling. Maybe you catch the defense on their heels. They weren't ready to be out there.
Yeah, it's almost like a sudden change, right? There was a turnover, you take it away, they stuck it in the end zone, keep the momentum going. Give credit to the defensive guys for rallying and stopping that 2-point attempt.
The Cowboys take over
Let's go,
1st and
boy.
10
Bring it up.
at their own 25-yard line.
Got it.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page. quarterback and receivers. Heck, they've been the same.
And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Juwan Williams. And they will finally run him down, but not until he brings this one all the way back down inside the 10-yard line. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
So 2nd and goal, and the big man Henry alone in the backfield. He's going to get it running right. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And that will extend their lead now up to 22. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
Let's go.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
He's got his man on the crossing route. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. So, signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's from nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has, but in his defense, he hadn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense, I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Landon Collins. And he's going to go down as time has now run out on this game. So a victory here for the men in blue, the New York Giants. And they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways.